Respected elders, uncles and aunties, boys and girls, ladies and gentlemen, we are gathered here today to mourn our 14 Naga brothers who were mercilessly gunned down by the Indian Army on the 4th and 5th of December. We are here to lament, not to seek revenge, but to seek justice with peace, hope, and love. This Indo-Naga war has been going on for more than 60 years. And it may seem that this massacre is nothing new, but enough is enough. Our 14 Naga brothers were killed simply because they were Nagas, not because they were insurgents or terrorists, but simply because of their ethnicity. They were killed simply because the Indian Army could do so with impunity and no legal consequences. Our very humanity, our very existence are challenged by this massacre. We must and we will seek justice with the power of love. We will not rest until justice is done. However, there is a twist in the tragedy of Otin massacre. The crime is horrifying and dreadful. The wounds and pains can never be forgotten. Yet, this tragedy, in a mysterious way, has united all the Naga tribes. These innocent young men did not die in battlefield, but it is as if they laid down their lives so that the Naga people could be united and find our destiny by learning to live in peace. Otin has awakened us. We are facing the challenge seldom before. It is a time to discern, a time for reflection, a time for correction, a time for direction. Nagas from Myanmar, Arunachal, Assam, Manipur, and Nagaland are all united in a joint search for integrity and honesty. This is a time for soul searching, a time to forgive, a time for healing. In our utter desperation, we are seeking our highest spirit. We are searching for our rightful destiny that will give us the honor and dignity to live as one nation. We cannot politicize the massacre of Otin. The victims are our concern. We must honor their deaths and allow their soul to rest in peace. In the light of this unspeakable massacre, we mourn the thousands of others, including our neighbors, who were also killed by the Indian Army over these many years. The Assamese, the Mizos, Métis, Bodos, and all over Northeast. While we mourn all those who have been killed by the Indian Army, I cannot but think of the fratricides. Brothers killing brothers. Some of those who had killed their own Naga brothers are trying to shift the focus to a common enemy, the Indian Army. We cannot do this. To do this would be a sign of weakness and a lack of integrity. Voting with a difference should help us to tell the truth, the ugly truth. To politicize this Otin massacre would be morally wrong, and we would betray the dead and the living. Those who try to take advantage of this massacre for the political vested interest will be cursed. I also acknowledge the death of the Jawan who was killed, whose name has not been released. I remember the earlier death of Colonel Tripathi, his wife, and young son, who were recently killed by the insurgents. History and such resultant tragedies follow the endless cycle of cause and effect. We seek to break this cycle. In seeking justice, we need to recognize the unjust laws that undermine our human rights, the recognition of the inhuman justice inherent in Armed Forces Special Powers Act is the overriding starting point. Repeal of ASPA is the priority, is the priority, as this law detracts from our common humanity. This is more painfully clear than ever before at this juncture in our history, when peace and talk of peace could actually become a reality. There is an African saying, a proverb, which says, when the elephants fight, it is the grass that is trampled. The Otin massacre demonstrates once again the vulnerability of a fragile and small group, desperately seeking to survive as a peoples. India is determined to protect her territorial integrity against the threat of China, and is using any means to keep the Nagas and Northeast in check. China uses a similar strategy in dealing with the Uyghurs and the Tibetans and other minorities by undermining their cultural existence through forced assimilation. We appeal to the greatness of India. With her rich civilization, which has contributed so much to the world to rise to her deep spiritual and philosophical heritage. What we want is justice. What we need is to see the murderers are brought to justice. What we need is to repeal AFSPA. What we need is to care for the families of the victims. I want to read out the prayer of St. Francis in this very solemn occasion. Lord, I pray thee, make me an instrument of thy perfect peace to bring. Where there is hatred, may I bring love. Where there is injury, may I bring pardon. Where there is discord, may I bring harmony. Where there is doubt, may I bring faith. Where there is error, may I bring truth. Where there is despair, may I bring hope. Where there is darkness, may I bring light. O Master, may I seek not so much to be comforted as to comfort, to be understood as to show understanding, to be loved as to love. For it is in giving that we receive, in forgiving that we shall be forgiven, in dying that we shall rise up to life eternal. I end with a lament, a Naga chant. The chant, the wording of the chant says, we parted with our Naga brothers of Oting, but their soul and spirit will turn into stars and watch us from above the stars that will shine upon our paths through the night. And the word is something like this. Otin miavimiko tie getseka koile renumole arele ukorofe temme mevi lar bengutoishe. Gets a